has been paid for by the New World Order.
Boom! Love that. You love that. Boom. Greetings from YouTubeville. Once again, Danny Savage, Draft Guru. I love being that guy. Listen, man, the world needs people like me, so you can point the finger at and say that's the bad guy. But I've played the role well my whole life. But I do have a soft side to me, to the people, my family, my loved ones, a lot of other people. I have a lot of groups of friends. My one group of friends, they call me the Tin Man. They're like, bro, you got no heart. Because just I've seen shit and I can see shit and just, not let it bother me. Just keep walking. A lot of people can't. So this weekend, I saw a picture. Wait a second. By far the best beard on YouTube. So this weekend, I saw a picture of a content creator with Dak Prescott. First of all, it looked like he was jerking him off under the table, number one. Secondly, he looked like he was starstruck and it was prom night. Bro, like, do you fucking live under a rock, bro? Like, if he walked past me, I'd be like, I wouldn't say a word to him, number one, because what has he fucking done in 10 years? But like, even if I would have seen in my day Roger Staubach, to this day, Troy Aikman, I'd be like, hey, what's up? I wouldn't be like, a 16-year-old girl looking at it looked like a male version of a Swiftie. Really, it was. It was super comical, bro. And I'm like, got to get out of that chair more, bro. Live life, man. You think meeting a dude that's done absolutely nothing for an organization for the last 10 years, it was like an accomplishment. And they got their phones. He'll probably be doing his lawn by next week. It's just, I'm sorry, bro. I find it comical, bro. It is, bro. But I'm cool playing that guy, bro. I really am. So this is Dallas Cowboy. I made a mistake in my one rankings yesterday, and I ain't going back to fix it. This is Dallas Cowboy mock draft 85.0. Listen, man, you're seeing people flip-flopping now on players they were high on all year, and they're retracting themselves and they're going towards other players. Listen, man, I've put out 717 players since May, and my rankings have been out there and they're not changing. This is mock draft 85. Got to talk about different people because if not, it's boring. So, like I'm saying, I'm looking at YouTube and I'm seeing all these mock drafts and they're trading back, which is probably more than likely what Dallas is going to do. But I've said this a million times. You can manipulate all those apps to make you have, you can manipulate all those apps for you to get fantastic trades that would never, ever, ever happen in real life. And then you're going to have a monster draft. I've had yet to do one draft trading back. out of 85 already. And those are just 85 that I've counted. When I get closer to the draft, I'll throw a couple out there because ironically, I can see Dallas trading back, but in the same token, they're picking 12. I'm legit lucky that I think I have like, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Cowboy fan. I got like 11, 12, 10 to 12 guys with first round grades, man. So, and how much further are you willing to go back? And if you do go back, teams are going to jump you. Me personally, I don't want to go back past Arizona because I know there's a wide receiver that Arizona Cardinals would draft in a heartbeat that Dallas has on their list. And because Arizona in a heartbeat would take Mika Ibuka and pair him with Marvin Harrison, that would be scary, bro. That would be scary for the midget Kyle Murray. The defense still sucks, but it would be. I don't want to go past Arizona. So we're still going to go BPA. Pick 12. Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State. 6'6", 260. He had 1,200 yards, 12 total touchdowns. He had 8 receiving touchdowns. He had 4 rushing touchdowns. He plays tight end. He plays running back. He plays quarterback when it's 4th and 1 on the goal line or just 4th and 1 in general. He comes right in, gets right under the center, and plays quarterback. Let's just be honest here for a second. Every tight end Dallas has on their team, this is their last year before they were free agents. They're free agents. They're free agents after this year. We really don't know what we have with Jake Ferguson. It looked like he regressed. Could it be injury? Could it just be that, we don't know. We don't know. But I'm sorry. If Tyler Warren from Penn State, 6'6", 260, that if the old cats that are like my age, he reminds me of Jeremy Shockey, but I think he's more athletic than Rob Gronkowski. Bro, this kid is a different style of player. This kid could have played 30 years ago, this kid. He could have played. He's just a man playing amongst boys. And he's 6'6", 260, and he plays, and he's an offensive player, but he plays with a defensive player's mentality. Yet, how many times have I said this? Micah Parsons is a defensive player, but he plays with an offensive mentality. Only those that have been in the trenches and played football will understand that. So at 12, Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State. BPA. I'm sorry. 44, JT Tuimoloau, edge / DT. He has the size to play either. 6'5", 270, The Ohio State. He's an island guy. He had a decent season. He had 61 tackles and 13 sacks. The year prior, he had a 10-sack season. If you go back 2020, this is why I laugh. And you can just tell these clowns that don't watch football. Go back to 2022, 2023, Penn State versus Ohio State. This kid literally beat Penn State by himself. JT Tuimoloau, 6'5", 270, island guy. He got to watch the games, people. Don't listen to all these draft guys that sprout up like mushrooms around now. Watch football. He beat Penn State single-handedly, this kid, and he is a monster, and he's not getting the credit that he deserves. At 44, he's a steal. At 76, I believe, we pick again, and we're going with Penn State safety, Kevin Winston. Listen, he did not play 2024 injury. 2023, he's this now. This kid is 6'2", 205. I'm gonna be honest with you. In 2023, he had 60 tackles, one interception. This could be a little rich for him. It all depends on how your doctors look at the injury, but it's a decent safety class. It's put it this way: you can't go wrong with Winston or Reed, Penn State's other safety. He's on the smaller side. He's 6 foot, but this could be a little rich for Kevin Winston, safety out of Penn State. But Dallas needs safety. I find it ironic. And scary. I think we have probably one of the worst safety rooms in the NFL, yet everyone's cool with it. We legit the fact that Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker are still on his team, but uncensored Cowboy says Malik Hooker's contract is like really, really hard to get out of. You're gonna get whacked against the cap. You know what I'm trying to say? So we can thank Jerry Jones for just doing another bad deal. It blows my mind how like he does business deals that he's a billionaire, but he can't simply fucking run a football team. And excuse my language. Sorry. 149, Jamari Caldwell, Oregon, 6'2", 340. Let's be honest, man. Right now, pre-draft, I would say Dallas has one of the worst defensive lines in the NFL. What do we have? $100 million mistake in Osa in the middle? Come on, bro. Do you think if Osa was on another team, Dallas would have threw $100 million at him? We have an undersized edge in Michael Parsons who wears down the second half of every season. And we have Sam, I can't keep myself on the field, Williams coming back from a knee injury. And then we have these basically dudes with a pulse that we went out and signed in free agency. So Jamari Caldwell, not getting much hype because he plays on a defensive line that has two other kids, Birch and Harmon, that are going to go higher, and they pretty much got all the accolades. Where this kid basically he's a basically big ass run stuffer. He ain't gonna have stats, but you don't want your run stuffer to have. If your run stuffer gets you a sack, yay, that's great. That's not his job as a zero tech, as a one tech. His job is to clog up the middle and let your linebackers flow to the football. And he does this job very, very well. And ironically, in 2023, he had a 5-sack season. He actually had an interception last year. Next up, pick at 174. Listen, we really don't know what we have with this offensive line. I'm sorry. We don't. Pick 174. Miles Frazier, LSU, 6'6", 330, has 40 starts to his credit at left guard, right guard, and a couple at right tackle. So this kid is crazy versatile, has great size, and he's flying under the radar, in my opinion, because for offensive linemen, Will Campbell, LSU's left tackle, and then Emory Jones, LSU's right tackle, they got all the hoopla this year. But this kid is underrated, man. And like I said, man, he's a 40 starts, left guard, right guard. That's a commercial, right? Right guard. Is it like a Do you know what I mean? Very versatile. Like I said, 6'6", 330. Don't be shocked. You could probably throw him some reps at offensive tackle. Me personally, I think he's better in a phone booth being a mauler. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. If we wait till day 3 for a running back, I am perfectly okay with that. I really am, because the running back class stretches to day 3. I do, but Dallas won't do this 100%. They're going to do complete opposite. They will take a running back with one of the first 3 picks, 100%. Why might you say? Because running backs sell jerseys. Nobody buys guard jerseys or defensive tackle jerseys. So, but this draft stretches to day 3. I have actually 37 running backs with a draftable grade. So at 204, Bashard Smith, SMU. Like, yo, when you see the talent that's available on day 3 at running back, these teams are going to kick themselves in the ass for going, you know, really, really, really early on running backs. So Bashard Smith, 5'11", 200, SMU. He played at Miami the last 3 years as a wide receiver. Transferred to SMU. They're like, okay, yo, we're gonna give you a try. We're gonna try you out at running back. He put up 1,700 combo yards and 18 touchdowns. It's day 3, people. Day 3. Talent that's on the board. 211. You got, I'm going back to back running backs, because let's be honest, we don't even have a running back on our team. Deuce Vaughn does not even count as a person. He's like 5'4". So he's like he's like a half. We're going to count him as a half a person. So we're going at 211, Kyle Monangai out of Rutgers, 5'9", 210. The kid's built like a bowling ball. 2023 led the Big Ten in rushing, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. Pretty much repeated the same thing in 2024 with a super banged up offensive line. And the kid is just like, the kid is very underrated. I'm going to leave it at that. And he ain't getting any love either. And I'm good. I'm glad, because if you're a team and you're a smart team and you wait until day 3 to get a running back, you're gonna succeed in this draft. And a draft that, I'm gonna be honest with you, overall is lacking a lot of top superstars. Next at 217, we got Utah defensive tackle Junior Tafuna, another island guy, 6'3", 315. Not, he's not going to show up on your stat list blowing away, having 30, 40 tackles. He's not. He's just going to be a run plugger. This is what blows my mind, though, too. A kid like him, you could have drafted, and he would do the same job as Osa Odigizua, and yet Dallas paid Osa $100 million. Blows my mind, but Dallas is famous for overpaying its players. But for all the guys with the call-in shows, ask them. Dude, if Osa was on, let's say, the Raiders and he became a free agent, do you honestly think Dallas would have paid him $100 million? Never in a million years. 239, corner. I know it's late, but we really don't know what's going on with our corners, because Bland's going to be a free agent. Diggs is hurt all the time. My opinion, if you went corner early in the draft, then you trade Diggs, but it is what it is. Robert Longbeam, Rutgers, 5'11", 190, 33 passes defense, 5 INTs. Bro, this kid is a willing tackler, and I've said this before about him. He always shows up when you need him. when Rutgers needed a play, he would do it. He would, where other guys would, you got to realize, man, if your player gets a sack in a 14-10 game, that's more, or you got people that got to realize sacks, tackles, interceptions, passes defense, they are all not created the same. That's like as a middle linebacker, if I tackle you 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, you think that's as impactful in a game as I tackling you 15 yards downfield? Remember Jalen Smith? Jalen Smith, listen, and I can't say a bad word about him because we drafted him with his issue, but he thought he was the man because he led the league in tackles. Yes, he did lead the league in tackles. Problem was they were 20 yards downfield. But hey, you can't blame him. We drafted him. He never should have walked again. And what he did, the kid got hurt. So I never really shit on the kid because we love drafting hurt players. So if you draft someone that's hurt, like, then you're gonna shit on him. Like, that's whatever, bro. Next at 247, it's just a projection. Caden Prather, wide receiver, Maryland. This kid is just a tall possession wide receiver, 3-year starter, 6'3", 210. He's averaged always about 50 to 60 receptions between for like 500 to 625 yards per year and 4 to 5 touchdowns per year. He's just a late round throwing a dart, throwing a dart at a dartboard, somebody that could be a reliable third down pass catcher because I've said it always, in a perfect world, I want a speedster to open up the running game and to stretch the defense. I want my superstar wide receiver, decently sized, 6'2", 6'1". Then, give me a tall, or just give me as long a possession type wide receiver that has reliable hands that you can go to and round on down, like third downs, fourth downs. And let's be honest, when we had Noah Brown on our team, he was a kid that got a lot of those passes, saw a lot of those situations where he was slow as shit, but when his number was called, he grabbed a lot of catches. So that's that. That's Dallas mock draft 85.0. Dropped a mock draft 7.0, 32 teams this morning. Listen, man, I told you I'm at 717 and I'm not going any higher. From now until the draft, pretty much every day is just going to be sleepers. I didn't put any sleepers out today. I'll put out 3 tomorrow. Sleepers, mock drafts, and then once we get like draft week, that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll mix up like different ways to make mock drafts kind of fun, because it gets kind of boring, but there's ways you can do them. And just for all the dudes out there, just beware of all these captain trade down blowjobs that just like, they do all these drafts and they trade down, they trade down, they trade down. You can manipulate all these apps to make you have the best, draft, and it's not practical. Will I do 1 or 2 of them? Yeah, because unfortunately, Dallas is such a train wreck. I can see them trading down. But at 12, when there's a lack of talent and one of your players is on, listen, 2 kids are going to slip. I don't know who they are. I predict 2 guys are going to slip. I don't know who. Happens every single year. So do you take the guys you have first round grades are, or trade back and now you don't have anyone with first round grades and you're drafting a whole bunch of players that are just backup roles and rotational players? It's going to be a long, long year. And for the fans that think Dallas is going to the playoffs, yo, inbox me because I want to know what doctor you're going to. Let me know what you're taking, because we all know when you're rocking with the GWO, it is for life, over and out.